met someone for the third anniversary. Quality internet radio. It is the Mike Sasson Show, brought to you on beautiful sound from the world of the internet. I don't even know if that's a word, but we said it and we're going with it on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. We are celebrating 3 years on the River's Edge today. We'll be going over some things that I noticed from watching the first show once again. Also, we'll be discussing how I might officially be an adult. It's only taken 42 years. Also, a lady that I believe is either racist or being ironic. You make the determination. Also, we'll go over bar thoughts and experiences. Also, what is the most searched term by women on Pornhub? I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised what it is. Also, we'll be discussing what happens when you are a father and your daughter, who is an internet celebrity, decides to post something a little risque. We'll discuss that. Also, how Baker Mayfield used his natural ability to annoy into producing a happy marriage. Again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. You're listening to us on the River's Edge, where you get the best music, the best talk for 3 years running. Again, also, if you want to listen to some classic Mike Sasson episodes, you just have to go to SoundCloud, iTunes, if that's still a thing, or Google Play, or you can go to YouTube, or if you want to listen to us live, you can listen to The River's Edge or The Mike Sasson Show or any of the other great shows on The River's Edge on the TuneIn Radio app. You just look for The River's Edge and you can find it. Again, with me as always, for the last 3 years, is the best internet radio host and producer on the planet Earth. Of course, it is Alex Clements. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing just great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Last week, a little bit of trouble with the old car, but you've gotten all figured out, so you're raring to go.
Yep, I'm here. I'm safe. I am pumped.
There you go. You got the old Honda. Have you named your car? Like, if you sometimes I've named my car in the past. Has your car got a moniker outside of just your car?
So I inherited a name for my car because it used to be my sister's, and when she got it, she named it Pep because it got a little pep in its step. Cute, right?
Yeah, that's better than nothing, I guess.
What's your car's name?
I've had several names for my cars. I had a Mitsubishi once, so I named it Ichiro. I think this car is named the Poopmobile because you said that it's the color of poop, even though technically, according to the Honda Corporation, it's charcoal.
Right, sure, okay.
Yeah, but speaking of cars, I saw on the streets of Southern California, you see a lot of nice cars because there's a lot of wealth in Southern California. Okay, Alex?
Yep.
And so I saw this Rolls Royce with this woman in the car. And, you know, it's a nice Rolls Royce, whatever. But what struck me was the license plate. Just so I'm seeing something, Alex, could you bring it up and tell me what you read, what it says?
It says broke. Well, it says broke. I don't know how you would say it. There's 3 Ks in it, so it's not broke. It's broke.
See, that's the thing about which got my attention. First and foremost, she's driving a Rolls Royce, and she is either saying, ironically, she's broke, which she's obviously not. She's driving a probably $100,000 vehicle. But also, she's got 3 Ks lined up.
Yeah, see, what I if I
Which
was
again
gonna
is reminding of the hate group.
right. If I was gonna give her some credit, which I'm not really giving her credit, but I want to say maybe her name is Brooke, but they didn't have a license plate that said Brooks because someone already took that. So she was like, oh well, I guess I'll get the next best thing, and they're like, well, we have Broke with 3 Ks, and she's like, that's good enough. That's what I think.
But let me ask you a question. Don't you think someone at the California Motor Vehicle Bureau should have notified her that having 3 Ks right next to each other in a very diverse community such as Los Angeles might bring a little bit of heat on her?
I think that maybe they probably just thought it would be funny if she had it. This is kind of like whenever I was in middle school. So I used to spell my name with two X's. And whenever I was in middle school, I was considering making it three X's because what's better than two than three? And someone luckily was like, Alex, I don't think that's the best idea. And I didn't really understand why at the time. But I'm really glad that that person told me that, and I didn't spell my name with three X's throughout high school because I think I might have had a different experience.
Everyone would have assumed that that was your stripper name.
Yeah, that's that I'm a porn star, you know?
Yeah. Or just a porn actress. I don't know if you do you think you could carry an entire porn film, or do you just think you'd be a support actress?
Oh no, it would be my film completely.
Okay, so you think you've got the charisma to carry an entire film and be a star.
Hell yeah.
And you know what, Alex? That's why I chose you to be the co-host of the Mike Sasson Show, which we are officially celebrating 3 years of producing just quality internet radio. Alex, when I say 3 years of the Mike Sasson Show, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The first thing that comes to my mind is how different my life is now than it was just 3 years ago. So many things have changed, and this hasn't. I mean, we have grown as a thing, but the fact that it's still in my life is something that hasn't changed.
I think that's pretty cool. You're right. I think this show is a constant in both our lives. I think it grounds us into some sort of routine, even though everything around us has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, describe yourself where you were when this show premiered, July of 2016.
Well, I had a completely different job where I was a receptionist. One of my favorite jobs that I've ever had. And my hair was boring. That's about it, I think. I feel like I was still much of a youngin' back in those days. I feel like I've learned so much in my life since then. I was drinking a lot more because I worked a lot less. And yeah, just a little bit different.
When I think back to where I was at that point, I got the Kren thing ended in March. So this was July. So this was only a couple months after the Jim Kren thing had ended. And I think that the point that I was the reason why I named this show the Mike Sasson Show was because I was really trying to figure out what my show would be. And when I watched the first show, definitely I think it was a lot more structured.
Yeah.
We had I think 6 or 7 segments. And to be honest, I even cut some from my own mind from what I planned on from that first day. We could have made the show 4.5 hours.
Oh, I totally believe it. And the funny fact is that I didn't even speak as much during those shows, and we still could have done 4 hours.
Yeah, I talk a lot.
Yeah, we didn't even have bar thoughts.
Yeah, that had not been developed yet, and I think that was something that it took maybe another couple weeks to develop. Specifically, I think one of the reasons why is you developed the concept of bar thoughts, but I think I had given you kind of the moniker of let's make sure that you talk a little bit during the show, so let's give you a segment that you develop.
Right, yeah.
And then you came back and said, hey, I write down these things when I get drunk off my ass. And I'm like, that's as good as anything. But
thanks. That was so supportive. And really, it's, the most award-winning segment that we have on the show.
I would say it is the most award-winning segment on the show. Absolutely. I think most people really want to hear what you think when you're drunk off your ass.
True.
The other thing I noticed about the initial show was both the cameras were maybe about a foot away from us.
Yeah, yes, and we were probably sweating our asses off.
Yeah,
at least you were.
We were in the Millvale studios, and there's a reason why that place burned down. It was 120 degrees in there.
Always. Which I sometimes enjoyed, when right now I'm sitting in a 68-degree studio and I'm just a bit chilly. I have multiple layers on right now.
That's one thing I wanted to bring up last week when we were going to have a show, but we didn't. One thing that I read a couple articles in which several women were complaining and saying that the concept of air conditioning is sexist.
I mean, I don't like, I get so many people, so many women that come into my store and they just like run in, like this happened today. They run into the store and they're like, oh my God, I'm freezing. My office is like 2 degrees right now and I can't even feel my toes. Like I need a jacket. People come in all the time because, especially when it's like last week here, it was like almost like 100 degrees. And so always the air conditioning in places is like it's like 7 degrees. That's it.
Yeah, the dudes in the office pretty much set it to their comfort level. Because I also think the thing about the air conditioning is that women, especially in the summer, are more likely to wear like the sundresses and everything like that, whereas guys, especially in office settings, are still going to be, pants, dark shoes, a sport coat in some cases. So I think, to be honest with you, if we want to switch this, I think that men should wear kilts around the office.
I would agree with that. I mean, so I went to, like, this happens to me all the time with restaurants too, because restaurants do the same thing, like when it's really hot out. Last week I went to dinner with my family and it was like 1,000,000 degrees outside, but I brought a hoodie with me because it's always freezing in restaurants. And my cousins told me that anyone who wears hoodies whenever it's really hot outside is on drugs. So I had to break the news to them that I was on drugs.
Alex. They're not wrong, Alex.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I was smart. I didn't use it, but
yeah. But I can understand. So, would you agree that that the whole concept, though, of air conditioning is sexist?
Yeah. I would honestly think that because it's always women that are cold. We just are little people,
And some of us are giant men that are covered in hair, which is why we're just warmer people.
Yeah.
But back to the initial show. Another thing that I noticed is you could spend most of the show reading what we were putting on the show. Like I think we had like 2 signs, and there were signs behind us, and there was like flashing messages and all that other kind of stuff. So that's another thing that I would say was something that we still have like the Mike Sasson Show kind of thing there, but like I think you can't, like right now I have just the black curtain background, but I think the first show we had like pictures and all of that, and we had like certain things on the desk and all this kind of stuff. So it was a very cluttered existence in the first one as well.
I'd agree. Right now all I have behind me is a little poster about Yin's Fest, which is this Saturday, actually. Look at that.
There you go. Go to Yin's Fest.
Yeah.
What will they do at Yin's Fest, Alex?
There's Yin's music, Yin's art, Yin's summer, Yin's Fest. It's from noon to midnight at Mr. Small's. Look at that. We just had an advertisement without even trying to.
There you go. Now, another thing that I would say which was unique about the first show, I had a hell of a beard.
A hell of a beard. Yeah, and now you're a little naked mole rat.
Yeah, I'm a naked mole rat because I'm more professional.
And I'm less professional.
I'm also not trying to cover up the chin as much. Let's just be honest. Now, bringing up the beard, I was watching the new season of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and Mario Joyner, Pittsburgh native, was with Jerry Seinfeld, and he has a beard, and Jerry was asking him why beards were so popular amongst men these days. In his theory, Mario Joyner's theory, was that men are trying to at least have one thing in their lives that women have not taken away from them.
I enjoyed that, I guess. Yeah, I would never take away anyone's beards. I also think it's a thing of like, I think it helps people age a little bit. I know that you've probably seen this little app where people like age themselves, and anyone who has a beard doesn't look as old whenever they do that as people who don't have a beard. So I think it helps you age nicely.
But the thing is that the beard also, I think it helps you age a little nicer, but the beard itself, like one of the reasons, I'll be honest with you, that I shaved my beard is that it's cooler because I'm in a warmer climate, but B, it does make me look younger.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
guess. I
believe
don't
it
know.
makes me look a
Debatable.
little younger. What's up?
And you want to look older.
When you want to look older, but I want to look younger at this point because I am older.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I think it depends on the person for that one.
Yeah. But that's the reason why throughout society you shave is to look younger.
Yeah, I guess so. Or to, what you said, look more professional.
Yeah.
I think you should just do strict mustache, to be honest.
You think I should go with a mustache?
Yeah, I want to see.
Like a Tom Selleck type mustache?
Yeah, I want to see that Mustache Mike. And then we're going to rename the show to the Mustache Mike Sasson Show.
I would look insane if I did that. Like people would honestly, I would get booked for like 5 like serial killer roles within like a week if I walked around Los Angeles with a mustache.
Hey, that's some money right there, Just a new typecast for you.
There you go. Big time scratch. What else? Is there anything else that you noticed while just taking ganders at the first episode?
I also looked more professional as you did, as you do now. I looked more professional then. I used to get really dressed up for the show. I remember the first show, I had like a whole outfit picked out, and I was really excited about it. And my hair was a normal color, and I had less facial piercings. Yeah, I was. Now I just, look like a hood rat.
Yeah, you definitely have pretty much worn whatever you were wearing when you were taking a nap.
Literally, because I literally have sweatpants and like a sweatshirt on right now, and I did just take a nap before I came here. So, yep, literally that.
I also think another big thing, the difference between the show is we've gone from being in a room that was the size of like a public bathroom at like an Arby's to now being 3,000 miles apart.
How I like it.
Yeah. This was a request by you, by the way.
Now,
you were sitting there going, Mike, I think California would appreciate your comedy more than Pittsburgh.
I have to listen to less of your like drinking noises. And it's a little, I don't know, it's a little less sweaty in here,
How is something a little less sweaty?
Well, you brought a lot of sweat to the table,
And how would that affect you when you were like 3 feet away from me?
Because I have to look at you.
Okay. Well, speaking of Alex's, it's been announced that a friend of the show, Alex DePula, is actually going to be moving out here to Los Angeles.
Sad days. Los Angeles is taking everyone from us, and it's not fair. It is not fair.
Well, I think that Alex. I think LA would love to have you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your reaction there. And then final thing that I wanted to go over is, Alex, have you ever had like a moment when you've been like, wow, I feel so adult right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do feel like that sometimes. Usually it's when I have a lack of sleep, and I am like, oh man, I'm an adult because I can't do the things I used to do.
But like in a positive way, is there like a thing that you've done over the past couple months that you like had this feeling where like, wow, I'm a grown up. Like I just did something that really made me feel as though I'm no longer just a wandering child.
I put money into my 401k now, so that makes me feel like a super adult. I'm doing it.
There you go. You're planning for retirement.
Yep. Only 26, planning for, old age.
That's honestly, any financial advisor would sit there and say that you will eventually retire if you do that, as opposed to the rest of us that'll be working until literally like a week after we die.
Whoop.
But one thing that I did this past weekend that really made me feel like a super adult is the gas prices out here in Southern California are insane.
Really?
So trying to figure out ways to cut costs there. And so I did something that I feel is a very adult move. I joined the Costco.
Oh, that is super adult.
Yeah,
I'm
and
so
they've got
proud
like
of you.
cheaper gas and all that kind of stuff. So I went this Sunday, and Costco in Southern California is like a way of life. Like it's something. It was big, and there was 3 Costcos in Western Pennsylvania. I actually used to work in a Costco at one point, which made it more special because at that point in my life, I couldn't afford to like join Costco, and now to be able to do it, it made me feel like I'd just taken a step towards actually becoming like a real human being.
Yeah.
So I show up to the Costco and I'm like, hey, I want to sign up for Costco. And they're like, okay, super cool. That's kind of what we do here at this desk. So I'm signing up and everything like that. And then there's 2 levels to the Costco membership. There's like your $60 rinky dink, I guess you might be a Costco member. And then there's the executive one.
Whoa.
Yeah. That means I get 2% back in a check and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm figuring if I get 2% back on every $1.50 Costco hot dog combo, I think I'll be like literally be able to like pay for, like most of my car and like my trip back to Pittsburgh during Christmas on that. So I'm thinking I'm going to make out on this deal. So I decided to get the executive. But then they really tested my adulthood, and they sat there and they went, but if you sign up for the Costco Visa card, you'll get a $60 Costco gift card, which makes it the same. And I'm sitting there going, do I want to roll the dice and sign up for the Costco Visa card?
Yep.
But I was feeling lucky, Alex, so I rolled the dice, and guess who got the Costco Visa card? Boom.
I'm so proud of you, Mike. They have everything at Costco. I'm pretty sure you can even buy caskets there.
You can buy caskets. They actually say it's a great place to buy cars. They say it's a good, they say like you get the best hearing aids there and all this other kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you're in Southern California, Alex, and you need like toilet paper in bulk, you know who to freaking talk to.
Thank you so much. I will talk to you about that. My favorite thing is going to Costco with my parents. One, because if I go to Costco with my parents, typically they pay for my food because I'm not a member. So I can't pay for my things. So they pay for my stuff, and I get to like slip and slide around Costco like a little child and pick everything that I want. It's a lot of fun. So I kind of like not having a membership.
Also, you get all the like I got some tasty like meatballs.
Ooh, yeah.
And they were giving away some ice cream sandwiches, so I got a little samples of those and stuff like that. So overall, quality adult time for Mike.
Go, Mike. I'm so proud. Seriously.
There you go. Anyways, so that's the first part of the show. Again, also the other part of the show that I've noticed, we're not as interactive anymore because we had this idea that we should do it live, which honestly made everything a giant pain in the ass.
Mainly for me, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even to me, because like you'd be sitting there and I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to do a show. And you're like, the computer's on fire right now. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd have to scramble to fix it, and you just sit there and stare at me.
Because what else can I do? I mean, I try to go like into the other room because again, I was burning up, and I probably lost 30 pounds the first show, but making me a cool 370. But those are memories. So if you have your own memories, share them down below, and we might get to them. Or we won't. Who knows? Anyways, it's the Mike Sasson Show, brought to you again by the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. My name's Mike. That's Alex. We'll be right back. The Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com, where you can listen to us on the TuneIn Radio app, or you can listen to classic Mike Sasson Show on the iTunes, on the SoundCloud, or the Google Play, where you can listen to Alex. After she drinks, she likes to write down her thoughts. For the last 3 years, she shared them with you. It's called Bar Thoughts and Experiences with Alex. Alex, play your theme song.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. It's a fresh cut, hope that you like it.
Whenever you dance like that, Mike, there's just little like weird noises that come out. It's a little awkward.
Mm.
Anyway, so okay, so Mike, I went to a house party this weekend.
Ooh, house party, like with Kid and Play and all that kind of stuff.
What?
Back in the day, there was a movie called House Party, and they had House Party 2, and they had House Party 3, and it was with this rap duo called Kid and Play.
I don't know it. I'm sorry. And that's not what I did this weekend.
Okay, but you did go to a house party,
I
and there's a
did.
good possibility the Kid and Play were there. You just ignored them.
Maybe.
Okay.
It was actually a 50th anniversary moon landing party. So I went to a house party, which I haven't done in a very long amount of time. Maybe the last like house party I really went to was like when I lived in my apartment, which has been over a year now. But so I learned a couple things while I was at this house party. Number one, I do not live a lifestyle that is cut out for hanging out with bartenders. I have realized this many a times over this past year because I don't know if you know this, but they like work late and then they stay up until God knows how long and then sleep until like 4 o'clock. And I'm not cut out for that because that's not how my usual lifestyle is. Literally, this party, I went to sleep at like 6:30. I woke up at 8:30 and the party was still going on. And I was like, in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, party was still happening, still until I left, like after I left. It was exhausting.
That's one of the reasons why I want to be a comedian is because I love the concept of, first off, if I was like a working comedian, here would be my week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much off. Except if my show started on Thursday, I might fly out to whatever city I was going to perform in if the show started on Thursday. If it was local, I could go like Thursday morning or whatever. But then Thursday, I do a show probably from like 9 to like 11 or whatever that I needed to be there. Friday morning, you typically do radio in the town that you're going to do, but then you go to sleep and you wake up whenever. Because really, you only just need to be at the club at about 7:30 when you're on, if you're the headliner. So that ultimately, then you do the 7:30 until about, let's say 8:15, whatever. Then you go into the green room. They serve you like a salad or whatever. Then you do the second show, and then you don't have to be at the club again till like 7 the next day. And then you either go home Saturday night or Sunday morning, or you stay Sunday, you watch football, whatever, and then you do the whole thing. But again, you really only work like 2 hours a day for like 3-4 days, and that's your job.
Yeah, I'm not really into the whole, I don't like sleeping during the day. I really don't like it. It makes me very anxious because I really feel like I should be, like, I feel very non-productive if I'm sleeping during the day because I'm like, everyone else is doing things right now and I'm just sleeping. And I don't like that. And I didn't even get to this party until 1:30 because it was with all bartenders. I was like, I am too old for this. And it's still affecting me today. And this was on Saturday.
Wait, so these bartenders were just huge fans of the moon landing?
Yeah. I mean, who isn't huge fans of I mean, I guess there's a lot of people who aren't huge fans of the moon landing.
I think that these people were just trying to find an excuse to drink.
Well, yeah, obviously. But it was a pretty sweet party. Basically, everyone was supposed to dress up like it was 1969. All of the music that was played was released on or before that date. So it was all music that you could have heard like on that day. And there was a bunch of movies with like moon stuff. I didn't watch any of them, but
What did you dress up as? What was your outfit?
I just dressed up I was going for more like a kind of like a Woodstocky vibe, kind of going
So you
for
just
that
went
vibe.
like the bell bottoms and then like a tie-dyed shirt or something?
I did some bell bottoms, like a white kind of like flowy shirt. I had a cute little flower headband in. Yeah, I don't think my hair really went with it, but
What, pink?
Yeah, it's like a purpley pink now. That was one of the other things that I learned is I'm pretty sure this is my most liked hair color. It's always surprising what other people are going to like as opposed to what I like the best for myself. And this has definitely been the thing that I've gotten the most compliments on in a small amount of time. So people really like it.
I will be on the record. I love all of your hair colors, but
Thank
one
you.
particular was when you were rocking like the more normal Julia Roberts type hair color.
Blah.
I know I'm a big loser, but like that was when I was just like, yeah, that was some quality Alex.
Yeah, I don't, literally, someone came into my store today and they're like, I love your hair. She was like, I don't know you, but I feel like it's very fitting for you. I was like, thank you so much. That's a good compliment, I think.
Mm.
Um, Also, something that I learned at this party is a couple lines to use with, your uh, the other gender. I don't know. I would call them pickup lines, but one of them really isn't. The one pickup line that I learned, this one guy told me, he said, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in 15 seconds. I'm really good with my hands. And I was like, but is the Rubik's Cube part true? I feel like you need to know that. And it was true. He said that was his fastest time. I guess he could have been lying. Um, but it didn't really work on me. Um, and the other line was this guy was like, oh, I heard this line in the show and I thought it was hilarious and I want to share it with the world. And I said, okay, tell me. And he said, the line is, do you want a 68? I go down on, or you go down on me and I owe you one. It's good. But you have to have the right timing. I definitely did not in that certain circumstance. And then give them, a little wink, you know?
Let me ask you, what do you believe is the point? What are you trying to convey in a pickup line? Because really, in my opinion, you're just trying to get a conversation started.
Right, yeah, that, and I feel like it could show a couple things. One, it could show kind of how smooth you are. If you're good at delivering pickup lines and people are kind of like, oh, okay, I think it definitely shows kind of how smooth of a person how you are and how confident you are. Also, could show your sense of humor. If it's a really funny pickup line, I'm good. I like those because I'm a big fan of a good sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm not a big fan of with the whole concept is if somebody's good at a pickup line, my warning would be that again, if someone says that someone is smooth, I equate that to be someone is kind of, dare I say, somewhat of a snake oil salesman. Like
Mm,
like it's not some. If someone sits there and goes, "Wow, that guy's a really good salesman," I'm like, I'd rather be known as someone who's an honest salesman as opposed to someone who can like sell a mud popsicle to a woman with white gloves. Like you know what I'm saying?
I have met people that are very smooth that aren't shit people,
Mm.
or aren't. What did you call them? Snake oil? Is that what you said?
Snake oil salesman, yeah.
Yeah, snake oil salesman. Yeah, I've met people that aren't like that. Surprisingly, they're just like really good at like making you feel, like you. I don't know, like butter. You
Maybe
know?
I've just known too many people. I can just see, and that's one thing. I'm just really good at reading people. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, whenever I meet someone and I don't read them well, it's typically because my genitals are confusing my brain.
Have you ever met someone who has said that they don't read people well? Because I feel like everyone says that they read people well.
Um, yeah. Have I ever met someone who said they didn't read people well? Um,
Because I think everyone thinks that they read other people really well.
but I have tangible proof that I can read people well.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah.
Facts, science behind you reading people well.
Yeah, being a
Hmm.
professional comedian and also a professional salesperson for nearly 20 years with documented success, I would say puts me in a category of I can read people well.
Maybe you're just smooth.
I think I'm smooth. It's almost like a superpower I have that I don't want to use constantly.
I literally said that and then laughed a lot in my brain after saying that and thinking of you being very smooth.
Yeah, because I'm the least smooth human being in certain situations.
Yeah, I think it's also for some reason I feel like it's a hard thing for a 6 foot whatever large man to be smooth. I don't know why that is.
But you would admit that on stage, I display confidence and smoothness there.
I would say confidence, yes. I'm
You
not.
don't think I'm smooth?
I'm not sure about smoothness. I don't know. I don't know. I think it would depend on what context of smooth. I think there's multiple different types of smooth.
Now, I would say that I'm like when I think your definition of smooth is like
A sweet talker.
Well, like I think something of like I equate myself in terms of my performance style as if I'm Metallica, and you're basically saying no. I'm saying smooth is like an R&B singer or something
Yes.
in terms of like being more like singing like a Luther Vandross love song as opposed to, creeping death in front of 100,000 people.
I would say your comedy is like Metallica. I guess that's why I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, you've done a show for 3 years with someone that you do not find funny.
Metallica is just, especially with my how I view Metallica, is just loud and annoying, I guess.
Yeah, you view me as loud and annoying.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, guess what? My last thing that I learned at this party, people recognize me from the show. I was at this party, okay, and I met this person, and they were like, "You look really familiar," and I was like, "Oh, cool, you don't." And they were like, "What did you like? Where do you work? Where did you go to school?" We both went to Point Park, but I don't think that we knew each other from there. And then he was like, "How's your broadcasting degree treating you?" I like when people phrase it like that. Like, clearly you're not doing broadcasting. And I was like, "Well, I actually have a podcast." And he was like, "Oh my God, are you on the Mike Sasson Show?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, that's me." And yeah, I signed an autograph, on his stomach, took a picture with him. I didn't do any of
Did
those
you
things.
legitimately sign an autograph on his stomach?
No.
Because I've done that before, and it's weird.
He didn't care that much. And
Okay.
I also don't think I want to sign any man's stomach. But, but he did
Someday you
recognize
will.
me.
What if a giant fat guy wanted you to sign his man tits?
I mean, I would do it, if that person was like a super fan, I don't want someone to do it just to like be creepy though. Like, I don't want
Yeah,
someone
you'd
to be
want to
like,
legitimately sign a fan, not a dude who's just like, I want out. Because like, if you were signing a man's like chest, I mean, a man's chest is one thing, but if you wanted to sign his stomach, then you're getting into his nether regions, and he might be just using it as a creepy way for you to get down there, kind of deal.
Exactly. I don't want those creeps. I want the legitimate fans. If you're a legitimate fan and a creep, that's fine, but
Yeah.
only that.
But you want to. I think you want to sign above the nipples.
Yeah. Except if someone was like, no, I lied. I took that back right away. I don't want to sign people's feet. I was going to say that would be okay, but I don't want to do that because I'm just thinking of the gross man feet. Ugh.
Oh, speaking of the feet, I was speaking to the woman that I spoke a couple weeks ago about when she sold the stuff on Instagram about her feet.
Yeah.
Instagram shut her down.
No. Rude.
I felt bad because it might have been one of our viewers that maybe freaking went after her.
I hope not. Rude.
Well,
Look at what we did to
like,
someone's livelihood.
Well, how many freaking Instagram models are on there showing their butts and showing their boobs, except for like a little X on their nipples, and all she did was show her feet?
Seriously, like, I follow strippers that are like, follow me on Snapchat for more, and they like give you like a little sneak peek, and then they say that, and I'm just like, how can they do that? And they're still on Instagram, but yet foot woman isn't. I feel bad calling her that. I don't know what else to call her though. Foot woman. She sounds like a superhero for feet though.
But I did say to her, the move then would be is do the pictures of the butt, but leave the feet in the butt picture.
Put her feet in her butt?
No, like take a picture to where it, like, she's giving like the like all the like the top selfie type stuff.
I got it.
In showing the butt, but then she like the feet are in it. So like they all know that the feet are like, what she knows. She knows that's her best feature.
What they're really here for. So
Yeah.
okay, so what is she gonna do now? Is she gonna have another website or something? I don't know how you promote that stuff.
I think she's just going to start up again and just kind of go from there.
Well, I wish her the best of luck. I'm sorry, Footwoman, if we ruined your livelihood.
We don't want to ruin anyone's livelihood except our own. Again, Alex, is that all you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I just need people to know how famous I am. That even at little house parties, people are like, "Oh my God, that's Alex from the Mike Sasson Show."
You know what, Alex? Someday I, I had this dream that we do the show on network television and we like show up to like a spring break location and every college dude in like the country wants you to like sign their chest and their back and stuff like
Hell
that.
yeah, sign me up when we're going.
Well, you might have to follow it to La La Land. We can't maybe do the show across the country. Who knows?
I think we should pick a good spring break spot. Like, I want to
Mm.
be a little classier than like Florida, Like if we go to like Cancun, so we get like the better looking college males. I'm
How
all
about
for
Lake
it.
Havasu? I say here was my idea: 5 days because we do it for a week because we're gonna have network television pay for it, and in each spot we do a different place. Like we start in like Lake Havasu, and then we go to like maybe like you said Cancun, and then we go to like New Orleans, and then we end the weekend like someplace in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we throw in like a shittier one, like Ocean City, Maryland, just to get more of our fans around.
No, no, we're all south. I'm not going to a place where it's going to be 65 and freaking cloudy.
That's that's where I went for my like senior trip whenever I was in high school.
And okay, but here's the difference. High school's different. Your high school spring break's usually in April. It's March for college.
No, I went after it was in June. I went.
Okay, well then if we go in March in Maryland, it's going to be like 50 degrees.
You're right. You're right, Mike. I agree with you. So, sign me up. Let's get some college kids together and tell them we're coming.
What would you do if a bunch of 20, 21-year-old dudes wanted a piece of Alex? Would you be like, no, you're not of age, or would you just be like, hell yeah, let's rock and roll?
I think for a week I'd be like, hell yeah, let's rock and roll, and then never again.
But every year when we do it again, you'd be like, hell yeah. And then the other 51 weeks a year, you're like, no, you're a little too immature.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. So anyone who is that age, I think if I confine it to that time period too, anyone that is that age, then they have like something to look forward to, and that's where we get more people to come out because everyone's like, oh my God, like this is my chance to be with Alex. She's not going to be with me any other time of the year. This is my chance. I think I have a good marketing scheme there.
There you go. Thank you very much, Alex.
You're welcome.
Next up, we're going to do news and notes from the world of entertainment and gossip. Alex, play the theme song. It all starts now. Now, Alex, this kind of struck me, but I was very happy about it because I think it helps me out a little bit.
Okay.
Pornhub released what was the most searched term by women in 2018. And do you know what it was?
No, but I'm dying to know.
Daddy.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
And yeah, a lot of it was daddy. A lot of it was like black daddy, hairy daddy, this daddy, a lot of daddy. And so they're wondering why, like, for instance, it's been years that guys have been, searching for the MILF, but now recently women have expressed their wants and desires for the DILF. And you, again, are the pioneer of the G-DILF.
Have I changed the world?
Maybe, Alex, through your show and your wanting and desire of older men. Now, Alex, tell me right now, they talked to some psychiatrists about this, but why do you feel that women are going after the older dudes, aka the daddies?
I think it's it's an experience thing. I think that a lot of women get sick of being with younger men because a lot of times, especially when you're thinking about the sexual aspects of things, a lot of times they're a lot less experienced. So they want someone who knows what they're doing. They want someone who's got stuff figured out, and they don't have to kind of like fix it, you know? I think that's what women are attracted to.
I also think because in modern times, a lot of the quote unquote millennials are living with home or living with 10 dudes or are living with the mattress on the floor, and they're thinking that the daddy has things together. They have a Costco membership,
Oh, Jesus.
things like that.
Were you just trying to work in the Costco membership to be appealing to women?
Okay, be honest. Isn't it somewhat appealing?
No, I don't think that would sway if like I was kind of on the fence with someone, and they're like, I have a Costco membership. I don't think that would put me over the
It's
fence.
not necessarily the Costco membership, Alex. It's the fact that a grown ass man gets great deals.
Uh,
That's what you sit there with. I can get you a foot long hot dog and a soda with one refill for $1.50. That's a fucking deal. That's a deal. The daddies get those type of deals. Freaking millennial kids are gonna go get you some like avocado toast for like $30 at some place in freaking in Silver Lake. Nuh-uh.
I don't
Daddy
know.
gets the good deals.
I feel like
That's why daddy likes it.
that's a little bit more like nice though, just because they're willing to spend more of their money on you. Like millennials will buy you that $30 avocado toast and probably spend all the money in their bank account to do it. And these daddies are just trying to get a deal so that they don't have to spend as much money on you.
Well, no, it's hey, I've got the money. Like, yeah, maybe the $30 avocado toast, but then you're going back to the freaking place with 72 roommates watching Netflix
Mm.
on their parents' thing. Whereas some of us have our own Netflix number. We're not sharing with anybody. That's the move for the daddy.
And a house and your own house.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's definitely the move. I think it's a mainly, to me at least, I think it's a mainly an experience thing. I think that it's yeah, but nice for a while, you know. I don't ever think I would like long term be with someone that much older than me. Because even though they've had all these experiences, then you don't get to experience those things for the first time with someone, you know? And that's
Mm-hmm.
always nice.
Would you be the older dude's side chick?
Oh, hell yeah. That's dreams, man.
That's life goals.
Life goals. Yeah, definitely.
I
If
think
I
you'd be a great first wife. Actually, you'd be a great second wife. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like, I'm talking about, like, okay, Paul Rudd, you'd be the second wife.
well, I kind of want to be, I think, the third wife. I think I'm more third wife material.
Okay, describe everyone. Who's the first wife?
The first wife is you probably got married a little too young and you're like not happy with everything because you find out that that person, you actually hate their guts. And you didn't figure that out because you married them too soon. Second wife, I would say you're like, okay, like maybe I got some things figured out. Like we get along a lot better. You know, this is maybe someone I can kind of settle down with and have some kids with. You never know. But then your third wife is like, screw it. I just want to have some fun and like live the rest of my life happily. And like, this is the person that lets me do that.
I
That's
think
me.
third wife is all about vacation homes and sex.
Yeah. And then you're like I said, you're just enjoying the rest of your life. You're like, I only got so much time left. I don't want to be like, have it spent just kind of doing, your marriage couple things. I want to have fun. I want to go on vacation. I want to, do drugs again. I want to, all those things. And that's me.
There you go, Alex. I think that you would be Alex Clemens, America's third wife.
Ooh,
Next up, you know who Ireland Baldwin is, right?
I don't.
She's Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin's kid. She's like 22
Oh,
years old. Well, she has an Instagram in which, like every other 22-year-old model in the world, posts various degrees of nudity on it. She's a model because she's like 6'2". But she posted a picture of her in New York City, basically just wearing a thong. You showing the picture?
oh yeah. Is she not?
Okay.
Is she even wearing a
So,
thong? Oh yeah, yeah.
so underneath the picture, it says that she got thrown out of a hotel, but that she said thank you to New York City and all this other kind of stuff. The controversy came that her dad, Alec Baldwin, put on as a comment, he goes, "Wait, what? You got thrown out of a hotel?" And then her uncle Daniel Baldwin or Billy Baldwin or one of the Baldwins sat there and said, "This is a tough picture to like." Here's my point. Your daughter is showing a picture of her basically just in a thong. Why are you even commenting on the photo?
That's so funny. Oh man, I want to almost say that my dad would do this, but he would kind of like lightheartedly like make a joke in the comments, and people would think it was very funny, but no one would say anything because they're like, that's a little weird, but also really funny. I feel like my dad would do that. But yeah, I would hate if my dad commented and was like, "What are you doing?" Like, yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that so I wanted to ask that. I'd say that you haven't done anything super risque. You've had a couple like art photos where you've been kind of like, nothing to this point, but did your dad comment or like on any of those photos?
I'm trying to figure that out. Let's see. Here's a mildly nudish photo.
Which one is that?
Oh, my dad did like that photo. I'm
But he didn't put a comment going, "What are you wearing? Why don't you put a pair of pants on?"
Let's see. No, he did not. It's like me, I'm like laying on a bed and you could tell that I just have, like a bra and jeans on. But it's not like that risque. Let's see some other ones. Here's one of me in just a little like bralette and jeans. That's kind of my thing, I guess. Alan. Yep, he liked that one. Hold on. There's one that I can definitely think of that would be very descriptive. I have a couple of definitely just me in bras. This might just reveal something about my dad. He liked that one too. I think he might actually just like literally. Okay, I found one single one that was like kind of revealing that he did not like. I'm wearing. It's when I had orange hair and I'm wearing like a skirt and like a little bra, and he did not like that one. So
but
maybe
most of them he is liked.
Yeah, maybe that one was too over the top, and he's like, I can't support this. He probably
But
said
if you
something
had a
to me in
daughter
person.
and you saw her wearing like outside and all she was wearing was a thong, would you like it and go like, "Put some clothes on, Missy"?
No, I wouldn't. I would not do that. I'd probably say something to her, in person. Like, what are you doing with your life? That's what my dad would do to me.
So you've never sat with just a thong on in New York City, exposing your breasts on a balcony and expected your father to comment later?
No, definitely not.
Okay, well, guess what? There's still time, Alex. So we'll never know about that.
True.
Next one. The church has gotten in a lot of trouble for the whole sexual assault thing, right, Alex?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, one priest tried to get around his wanton desire to, play with men's junk he was doing an exorcism, and he told the men that in order to do the exorcism right, they needed to get naked. He did a bunch of stuff with them. And then he claimed that this had been done to him by a Native American shaman. Why a priest was doing something that a Native American shaman had shown, that should have been a red flag. And he started to perform oral sex on the man, saying that I'm trying to remove your demons.
Ooh, oh God, that's bad. That's bad. That's real bad.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. If you were the judge, is there any part of you that believes that possibly him filleting this man was in any way removing demons?
No, nope. I mean, no. Unless, unless maybe the guy was just super sexually frustrated, then maybe that was making him a terrible person and maybe a little bit demonized. Then maybe, but I don't think maybe that a priest doing that would be the best way to solve that issue.
Also, if the demon is going to come out, that'd be the smallest hole. You got to go to the bigger holes, which would be the mouth and or anus.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. If you think about it that way.
I mean,
Sure.
that's the smallest hole. You don't think the demons would want to come out maybe a bigger hole?
Maybe I guess it depends on the demons, what kind of demons you're dealing with. Maybe they're little tiny ones.
Little tiny demons?
Yeah.
That sounds like a knockoff. You know, like how Disney has like cartoons, and then they have knockoff cartoons that like have like they were always like on the like DVD rack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Little Demons sounds like one of those movies.
Yeah, or like a cool rap name like Lil Demon.
I think if it was Lil, Lil Demon.
Yeah, that's
that'd
what
be
I'm
cool.
saying. Yeah.
Honestly, that might not be a bad rap name, Lil Demon.
Yeah.
By the way, did you hear about the controversy that apparently a rapper died a couple months ago, and so a comedian on Comedy Central had a joke where basically the man had been shot after he had $50,000 and someone shot him and then took the 50,000. And her joke was, when I read this, I thought this would be a great ad for Venmo.
Wow.
And like a bunch of his fans were like threatening her and all this other kind of stuff, and like all the comedians were like, this is BS, all this other kind of stuff. And my thing was, yeah, you should be allowed to be any joke, but if that's the joke that you like get Comedy Central to record, I don't know why Comedy Central's recording your stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like that's like maybe a good like dive bar joke, but Comedy Central worthy, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so I think you should be allowed to say it. My question is, why were you saying it? Final one of the show. Baker Mayfield, have a feeling, is going to become a very hated person in the city of Pittsburgh. He's the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He's kind of a known scumbag, but he also has some talent, and the Cleveland Browns look to be in the next couple years because their general manager is a former University of Connecticut football player, so obviously they're going to be knowing how to get talent. Is going to be a problem for the Steelers, or at least now become a real rival. But I have to give it up for him in his persistence in the way that he courted his now wife. Here's what he did, and I want to ask you, Alex, if you think that this would work on you.
Okay.
So Emily Wilkerson was an internet celebrity. She actually just worked at as a receptionist in a plastic surgery place in Los Angeles. And what he did was he would, I guess, follow her on Instagram, waited for the follow back. A couple days would go by, he wouldn't get the follow back, so he would unfollow her. Wait a couple days, follow her again. And this way that she kept on seeing that Baker Mayfield is following her. And he just did this for like a couple months, every couple days kind of deal.
And that's how he got her, and then eventually they started talking?
What happened was eventually she did go, okay, fine, I'll follow you back. They started messaging each other. He was in Los Angeles for the Rose Bowl a couple years ago. They had lunch, sparks flew, yada, yada, yada. They just got married.
This is hard, Mike. This is a hard one. I'm
That's
very.
what he said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I see. I was actually having this discussion with someone the other day because I was talking about someone that I date and how I started dating them. Was they had come into my store like a couple times, and I like remembered them, and they found me on Instagram later and requested me, and then we like started talking eventually through DMs, maybe like a month after we started following each other. And it was totally fine because I had like already met the person, already kind of like had an interest in them, and then that happens. But I have the same exact thing has happened to me before, where like someone will come into my store, or like I meet someone, and then they start following me on Instagram, and then start trying to like DM me and get into my DMs, but it's not someone I found interest in, so then it's not okay. So it's a stupid standard. But I feel like that's how I feel like if I had met the person, like if I met like him, I would be like, oh, and I had interest in him, and then he did this to me, then I'd be like, oh, that's kind of sweet, that he was trying so hard. But the fact that that person didn't know me at all and was trying that hard to talk to me would make me feel a little weird, I think.
But here's the thing. I honestly respect the move of the fact that he would unfollow and then follow him again. Because if you just follow someone and you just stop, then you see it once and then you kind of forget it. But if you unfollow and then follow again, then what happens is then they remind like, oh, that person. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, this past weekend, because I read about it this past weekend, I actually took the advice and I found a couple comedians in Los Angeles that I had started to follow, didn't get the follow back, unfollowed all of them, then followed them again, and then got the follow back because then they saw me again.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that, but also at a certain point, I might be like, dude, get a hint. I don't want to follow you back. Please stop following me and then unfollowing me and following me again because I don't want to follow you back.
It's a fine line between sweet and what is the word? A creepy.
Creepy. Yes. Yeah, I definitely think that. And it also, like we always say, it depends on who's doing it. Depends on how attractive you are. That's the end goal. The end thing.
See, I think really there needs to be like not just follow or follow back. There needs to be like, yeah, not now button, or I know who you are, thank you, or you can follow me, but I'm not following you back. Leave me alone. Like there needs to be multiple messages.
Yeah, I would think that too. Because I mean, a lot of people like I don't follow a lot of people that follow me because I don't have a private account, so anyone can follow me. But I don't follow everyone back because I don't want to look at these people's things. I don't know you. I don't care. You know.
That is one thing that I've been doing recently is I've been kind of purging my Instagram of like, why am I following this person? What am I doing with it? I don't care what you do.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel bad unfollowing people, so I just mute their things so I never have to see them again, but I don't hurt their feelings.
That's why you are producer extraordinaire, Alex Clemens. Alex, thank you very much again, and happy 3rd anniversary.
Oh, you too, Mike. I sent some flowers today. Did you get them?
I got it with my going away present that you sent earlier as well.
Good. I'm glad.
There you go. Thank you again, Alex. Again, keep listening to The River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. And oh, by the way, remember a couple weeks ago when I said I was going to be part of that comedy contest at Flappers, and you said that I had made it up? Well, I continued to not make it up, and I got passed to the next round. So
sure
congratulations to me. There you go.
What do you get if you win?
What's up?
What do you get if you win?
Money.
Oh, okay. I guess that's believable.
Yeah. What did you think I would? I get an opportunity to become president of show business.
You get to be Mr. Flapper.
I get to be Joe Flapper.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, Alex, thank you very much. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with more wonderful quality internet radio programming on the Mike Sasson Show. You all stay safe out there. My name's Mike. That's Alex. See ya. Bye.